Okay, take two. I was not loving how the first stream was going. I was kind of uncollected with my thoughts. A lot of had to move at one point, and I also kept burping because I was drinking that soda right there. It's it's hard because it's all in reverse, but whatever. But let's just get kind of straight into it. So we're covering NBA news today, free agency specifically, and we're also just going to cover any NBA news that I missed, making videos on, which is most of free agency, but I missed some extension talk. I guess let's start with Colin Gillespie. Um, if you follow my posts or look at them at all, which I don't expect anybody to, they're just all slop. But if you follow those at all, you'll know that Gillespie was a guy that I really wanted for the Jazz. Um, and he's a guy that you know I just think is flat out good. Um, Averaged about 13 and 4. He's only making about 12 million, and for a great shooter, a guy who called Jeff Green dad, and just like an overall fine player, yeah, why not? He was a big reason why the Suns worked last year as well. Like he took seven threes a game. Like I think 70% of his shots were threes. Um, and so yeah, it's a totally fine deal for a backup spot starting point guard. And it's this kind of how the same excuse me, this is kind of how I feel about this next guy. 3 years, 19 million for Jordan Goodwin, another guy that I've kind of liked. I always have like one G League guy that I love. It was Leonard Miller, although he was a draft guy too. But Leonard Miller, he got stuck in the G League for a while. I did really like Colin Gillespie. Um, he played on the Nuggets. I saw the clip of him calling Jeff Green dad, and then I went and researched him after, and I'm like, oh, this guy's kind of good. And then I like Jordan Goodwin because he had a really high steal rate for a long time. I think he still does, but he had like a really high, really good stock rate. And so, yeah, 3 years, 19 million for just another solid, really good backup point guard. Like, why not? This team is maybe a little bit guard heavy for my tastes. They have, let's see, they have, I guess I don't know if they're going to keep this guy, but Jamari Boye was not bad. Jordan Goodwin, Gillespie, Kobe Brea, Amir Coffey, Jalen Green, Grayson Allen. I guess he's gone now. And Devin Booker. I guess, no, this is 2025, 2026 Phoenix. So I guess let's go to the official Phoenix roster page. I guess maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. A lot of this I'm seeing for like the first time. And so you're kind of going to get my raw, unredacted thoughts. Yeah, they have Luke Kennard, Jalen Green, Jordan Goodwin, Colin Gillespie, Amir Coffey, Kobe Bryant, Jamari Boye, Devin Booker, and then 1,000 forwards and 2 centers. So I guess I don't know. Ryan Dunn played a little bit of center. Osama Gadaro, a bit of a center. Okay. Anyways, does not matter that much, but they have a lot of two guards, and they don't have many point guards. I'm worried that old Jordan Goodwin might get a little bit overused at point guard or a little bit overexerted, but I don't know. I guess the Suns team doesn't really care about itself either with the Miles Bridges trade that we'll get to. And so, yeah. Good signing. Worried that Jordan Goodwin will be used a little bit too much. I guess good extension, but yeah, overall not bad. Next up is CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum, I guess I should say 1 year, 21 million. CJ McCollum, once he got to Atlanta last year, was just killer. Led the team to 19 and 4. And when he was on the Hawks, they also just had like one of the best net ratings in the league, if not the best. let's see, where's CJ McCollum? Yeah, when he was on the court, they had a offensive rating of 120 and a defensive rating of 106. Their best lineup had a net rating of plus 21. Like in 334 minutes, the lineup of Daniels, CJ, Johnson, and Okongwu had an offensive rating of 124 and a defensive rating of 105. All of the offensive ratings with him on the court are ridiculous. A lineup of CJ, Moge, Okongwu, and Kennard had an offensive rating of 138, a defensive rating of 126, but a plus 11 net rating overall. And this one is insane. A lineup of Daniels, CJ, Gay, and Okongwu had an offensive rating of 170 and a defensive rating of 85. And so, obviously there's more to basketball than just pure net ratings. But overall, he was pretty good for them last year, and I honestly think he could maybe be a little bit better. When he got to Atlanta, his shooting did kind of take a dip, and part of that could be scheme. Part of that could just be a little bit of cold streak. Kept the same percentage from the floor as a whole as when he was in Washington, but his 3-point percentage dipped by about 3-4%. He's a career 39.5%, and in Atlanta, he shot about 36%, 35.7, I guess to be exact. So yeah, I mean, he could even get a little bit better. He is 34, and so I guess going on 35 now. I don't know when his birthday is, but September 19th. So he'll be 35 by the time the season starts about. And so, he's getting up there a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, for a guy who's coming off a year averaging 19, 4, and 3 on 45 and 36, that's a fine deal. I like Zuby Ejiofor. I think he could be a pretty decent defender. So yeah, overall, I like this Hawks team. I don't have a lot of complaints with them. I still think they probably should go out and get a center or like a better point guard. But I don't think signing CJ really restricts them from doing that. And so, yeah, no real qualms there. Talked about that Wiggins trade. Talked about the Dusty May hiring. Oh, this one. I don't think I talked about this one, but Trae Young, 4 years, $212 million. It's a max. Player option in year 4. I mean, we're coming off a year where Trae Young basically just got salary swapped. Like there was no real assets. I mean, he had 1 year left on his max, and then yet nobody wanted him. Like he was expired. I guess he had a player option, so it wasn't technically expiring. But like, what changed? I mean, Trae Young, in my opinion, has lost a bit of a step. His efficiency has gotten kind of consistently worse. I know a small guard just won the NBA Finals, but he had kind of the perfect team around him. He was talented enough to kind of overcome being a small guard, and also he went against a team that could not really take advantage of the fact that he was a smaller guard, or I guess they could have, but they didn't, just because Mitch Johnson is. But yeah, I don't love this signing that much at all. I mean, after age 23, he's gotten pretty consistently worse. 2018-19 at 20 years old, he averaged 19 and 8 on 41% shooting and 32 from 3. 2019-20 in his second year, he averaged 29 on 43% from the floor and 36 from 3. 2020-2021, 25, 9 on 44 and 34. In 2021-2022, arguably his peak year, if not, I'd argue this is probably his peak year. He averaged 28.4 on 46% from the floor, 38% from 3, 9.7 assists, 4 turnovers, and a steal a game. Year after that, though, 26 points, 43% from the floor, 33.5% from three, coming down from 46 and 38. Year after that, 25 points, 25.7 points, about 26, but 43% from the floor and 37% from three, but played about 20 less games, 19 to be exact. Year after that, 24 points, 11.6 assists, which is great, but 41% from the floor and 34% from three. And he played 15 games this year, 41% from the floor and 30% from three. In Washington, he shot almost 60% from the floor and 43% from three. Obviously not sustainable. But yeah, I'm a bit concerned that Trey has lost a bit of a step. You know, I usually takes a little bit longer for some of these small guards, but Trey is a small guard. And yeah, like I said, the league's sorry, something distracting out my window. The league's not built for him as much anymore. I do love his fit with Sar and potentially with AD if they end up keeping that core together. I actually think the Wizards should trade AD, so I figure I'll make that clear. But yeah, a max for a guy who was just on a max and was on basically an untradeable contract doesn't make sense to me. Honestly, I would have rather just let him go. We'll see. When he was on the floor for the Wizards last year, net rating and offensive rating was crazy, as we saw. Great efficiency. And so who knows? Sar's a really good guy to kind of protect that back line with him. I think AJ could be kind of a rough fit with him, but I like having a guy to just kind of spoon feed him a little bit. I like Trae Young's fit on this team. I don't like it for that cost. I guess I don't know the scheme the Wizards are going to run, and so theoretically, I like Trey and AJ. I have some concerns about it defensively, and just there's one basketball. I know that's very kind of Bill Simmons coded, but having two inefficient shot chuckers is a little bit iffy. But yeah, so I like Trey's fit as of July 1st, 2026, but not for that cost. Sorry. I need to text my mother. And my nose hairs itch. I need to buy a nose hair trimmer. This is just for future editing me. Okay. Should be good now. But yeah, don't love that contract. Maybe he proved me wrong, for 2-3 years out of his original 4-year max, he was fine. Yeah, I don't know. I'm concerned. I think it's too much, but we'll have to see. This is a pretty good situation for him, though, so I don't know. Mo Diawara, 4-year, $10 million deal. I like Mo a lot. Only 21. I think he's just a pretty good player. I don't know if I fully believe this, but some basketball people I know and talk to, not like any NBA people or anything like that, but some smart basketball people I know think he could develop into like a starter. I don't know if I agree with that, but a lot of the metrics love him. He shot 37% from three on 2 a game in 9 minutes. Like, he gets them things up there. I thought he was interesting defensively, showed a little bit of passing. Like, he still has some bozo moments, but he's 20. That's a really cheap deal on a guy who was a little decently productive last year. And so yeah, I'm fine with this bet. I like Mo a lot. And if it doesn't work out, that's a waivable contract ultimately. So yeah, I like this a lot for the Knicks. I don't have a ton to say just because we didn't see a ton of Mo this year. He played 60 games, but it was like 8 minutes a night. And so yeah, we'll see. But I like it for the Knicks, and yeah, I like Mo as a player. I talked about Io. That's an insane amount of money to give him. Excuse me. No, I said that right. I like that contract even less now that they have LaMelo Ball. Maybe he could fit well next to LaMelo, but at the same time, that's a backcourt of LaMelo, Io, and Ant. I mean, 2 out of the 3 of those guys don't really play defense all that often. Ant is a good defender when he locks in, but yeah, I mean, Io is kind of exclusively a 1-2 defender type of guy. I don't have any numbers to back this up, but I feel like in the games I watched, he struggled against threes. And also, I'm a little concerned that Io is just coming off a really hot shooting year. Like, I never loved Io as a player, and so maybe my reservations with him are still kind of hanging here a little bit. But I mean, I guess, I don't know. He shot 40% before that. I've always viewed Io as kind of just like a chucker and inefficient guard type, but I don't know. His shooting seems to come and go a little bit. I mean, you can go back and watch the Giannis trade video. I talked about that. I think Io's a good player, just not for that much, ultimately. I don't have a ton to say just because it's Io DeSunmu, but yeah, I mean, I think that kills a lot of. I guess they were able to trade for LaMelo, and so it doesn't. Their cap space doesn't really matter that much anymore. But I don't know. Again, this is gonna be kind of a shorter stream just because so much of this is just like we're going into free agency. It's day one. We still have a couple months before the NBA starts. Are there going to be any trades? Sometimes at Summer League, some trades happen, if a young guy really sort of shows out. And so, I don't know. But for a guy who averaged 14 and 3.5 on 52 and 41, which is good efficiency, probably a bit fluky. Like, that's career high efficiency for him at 26. Like, I don't know, just 20 million seems like a lot. But I don't know. Maybe I could be proven wrong. I thought Io kind of stunk. But, it's 5 years, 112. Yeah, okay, well, 22 million. I thought it doesn't matter, but yeah, I don't love it. Yeah. I'm trying to do this a little bit quicker. Oftentimes I've found that my videos end up being a little bit long just because I will rattle off a bunch of advanced statistics that nobody really cares about. And so, I'm trying to not rely on them as much to prove points, but I also kind of feel like this Wolves team has just kind of been pissing shit a little bit anyways. I guess, I don't know. I'm concerned about LaMelo's health. If he stays healthy, I think that team will be really good, but we'll get to that. Reeves, 4-year, 185 million max contract, player option in 2029, 2030. Yeah. Like, it's probably a little bit much for Reeves. I mean, we'll look here. That puts him in the same range of guys like Cade Cunningham, which Baby Max, Mobley, Baby Max, but Jamal Murray, Larry Markkinen, Donovan Mitchell, uh, Trey Young, Luka Doncic, Edwards, Halliburton, Siakam, Sabonis, and OG. So, it's probably a little bit much, but he showed some pretty substantial improvements. This year, he carried the Lakers while LeBron and Luka were out. He's a pretty good fit with Luka, honestly. Um, I wish he was better defensively just because, you have Luka flanking him, but this year he averaged 23, 49% from the floor, only 36% from three, but got him up 6 a game. And yeah, like I said, all right, I guess I don't know if I said this, but averaged 23, 4, and 5. And yeah, I mean, maybe a bit pricey for that production, but he's shown he can scale up. And yeah, if it's keeping Luca happy, why why not, I guess. I also think he's a tradable salary too. Like, I think he showed, dang, at least on my end, that looks like it really improved the camera. um, yeah, overall, I think this is fine. Um, this is draft night stuff. Um, Isaiah Stewart to the Memphis Grizzlies for 3 future seconds. I'm a little bit mixed on Stewart. I think he is a fantastic rim protector, but I think his shooting is a little bit overrated. I think his contract is okay. I've seen some people say Memphis should not have done that because he gets paid way too much. I think he makes 15 million exactly for 2 more years because I think he got extended this year. No, he has a team option next year, so I guess technically 2. Sorry, I got the burps. For 2 more years, and yeah, 15 flat. It's only about 8% of the cap. So, oh no, this says 16, not 15. Oh, that's for apron salary. Okay, but yeah, I mean, I like his fit next to Flag, or not Flag. Sorry, Boozer. Wrong prospect. I like his fit next to Boozer. I think just getting any rim protector who can not shoot, but theoretically shoot at least. Again, I think his shooting is a bit overrated, but yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty good team construction around Boozer. I think he's a good rim protector. Boozer's not. I think he's a decent rebounder. Boozer's a good rebounder, and so he can sort of cover up old Isaiah's beef stews flaws on that end. And yeah, I do wish he was a bit of a lob threat. Boozer showed he can toss up some lobs, but yeah, overall I think it's fine for the Grizzlies. For the Pistons, I don't think you would have gotten much of a better return for him, but at the same time, why trade him? You're in a spot where, I mean, their window honestly was last year. I think it could still be open this year. I think the East is deep, but I don't think it's super talented. I think we are at a really interesting time in the league. Bit of a side tangent, but I think we are at a really interesting time in the league where there's 6 teams who could theoretically make it to the finals. I mean, you have the Knicks. I would have said Boston, but if healthy, maybe the Sixers. But you have the Knicks. I think the Lakers could make a pretty deep run. I'd be surprised if they made the finals. But Knicks, probably the Nuggets, just because I think if you have Jokic, you have a chance. Yeah, that's a bad point. But I guess I don't know where I was. Well, I don't know. We'll keep with that point. I guess reverse. But the league is very deep nowadays. I think the East is decently wide open, and so I don't understand why you trade a pretty high end backup center for 3 seconds. and a backup center who is really not making that much money. I mean, as we've seen this free agency, backup centers are making about that, and most of them are not as good as Isaiah. And so, I don't know. I think to me, this reads as either Trajan Langdon is kind of dumb, which he's on fraud watch a little bit, or they're really concerned about what they're going to have to pay Jalen Duren and Asar Thompson. I don't know if they've been in a position to pay the tax in quite some time. I could look. I don't really care to. But yeah, I mean, to me, this just reads as we're scared of money, or my goat, Ogana Onyeso, is maybe just really, really good in the eyes of Trajan Langdon. I mean, in 18 minutes, the guy averaged 3 blocks per 40, 6.3 blocks. I did not watch much of this guy at all. I watched the the Duke game. The Duke game he had, I think, in the tournament. Oh, it was against. No, it was against Duke. Yeah, where he had 9 blocks. After that, I'm like, I'm sold. I think he could potentially shoot. I don't think he'll be able to, but it's like there's a chance for him, even if it's unlikely. And so who knows? Maybe Ogano and Yeso is just turbo iHeart with a little bit more athleticism, or not iHeart, iStew, iHeart Radio. But yeah, we'll have to see kind of what they do to fill that role. We'll have to see what the Duren contract is. We'll have to see what they do with Duren, honestly. But just as of July 1st at 8:31 p.m., and I have not refreshed Twitter since about 7 p.m., and so maybe Duren resigned, maybe Sabonis got signed and traded there. But as of right now, I don't love it just because it feels like you're throwing away a talented player just because he's making a bit of money, and you're scared that you're going to have to pay a bit more money next year. So, I don't know. Teams chopping salary when they don't absolutely have to is something I'm never going to love. Al Horford, 2-year, $14 million deal. Again, Al Horford's old as shit, quite frankly. But he wasn't horrible. He started off really, really poorly, but he's making $7 million a year. It's kind of funny that you have a 41-year-old on your team, honestly. But I mean, he averaged 8 and 4, 42% from the floor. Did shoot 36% from 3. Averaged, I can't get this ad off my stupid screen. Averaged about a block in 21 minutes. I don't know. I mean, he started off slow, ended a little bit better. If he's a backup, okay. Spot starter, okay. I mean, he's getting paid less than Yusuf Nurkic and I think Jackson Hayes, which I'll talk about Jackson Hayes. That if you want to see me get riled up, stick around for that. But I mean, for a backup center and potentially one who can shoot, that's fine. Also, you're maybe going to have the unction if LeBron and AD sign there, and so I love it. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to say. It's kind of fine. He still has been pretty durable. Played 45 games last year, which not great, but the Warriors, kind of as you saw, were not in a great position for a lot of the year anyways. And so, I imagine they were probably a little bit more flexible with him resting. Sat back-to-backs too, so yeah. I don't know. I understand if people don't like that trade, like if they want an upgrade, but I think it's fine. This one, I don't really get. Like, until more information comes out, I'm not going to like this trade for the Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets are trading star guard LaMelo Ball and Josh Green to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Naz Reid, a 2033 unprotected first-round pick, 3 first-round pick swaps, 2028, 2029, and 2030, and 3 second-round picks. That's not a lot for LaMelo Ball, in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong. LaMelo Ball is a very injury-prone player. Injury-prone player. He is a very flawed player. He is a guy who you could argue kind of holds back your ceiling a bit, but I also feel like he kind of lifts up your floor. I mean, he's 24, going to be 25 by the time the season rolls around. About, um, but I mean, this year, 20 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds on 28 minutes per game. Like I don't know why. I guess he did kind of stumble towards the end. Like they really had to kind of try and keep him healthy. But I don't know. I mean, he played 72 games. 28 minutes a night, but the Hornets were good when he played. I mean, their best lineups had LaMelo Ball in it, and their worst lineups, shocker, did not. I mean, when he was on the floor, they were a +8, and when he was off the floor, they were a +0.4. I mean, that's a 0.4 difference. A lot of Khan's shots were assisted by LaMelo. A lot of Musa Diabate's scoring was assisted by LaMelo. Brandon Miller oftentimes really sort of thrived off of, LaMelo finding him off of like awful actions and movement, because as of right now, Brandon Miller doesn't have a ton of gravity. He has some, but I mean, LaMelo Ball was the hub of this team. I mean, if we look at their starting lineup of LaMelo, Knipple, Miller, Bridges, Diabate, their most used starting lineup at least, that was a offensive rating of 134, a defensive rating of 113, and a net rating of 24. But if, say we take LaMelo off and we go Kobe White, Con Knipple, there's Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and Musa. Well, okay. That lineup only played 10 minutes, but it had an offensive rating of 218. And so that means they're scoring every time in that 10 minutes. So I don't know. Maybe I'll take the L there. What if we take out Miles Bridges? This is a side tangent, but now I'm so curious. And we'll replace him with Grant Williams. Why is LaMelo in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, I guess that lineup did not really play at all then. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. If LaMelo's ankles are truly hosed, then I understand. If LaMelo truly wanted out, I understand. If you think this is the best you're ever going to get from LaMelo, is 27 or 24-7, okay, I understand less, but there's an argument to be made. But you're a rebuilding team. You have a point guard of the future and a really good one, a guy who's still young enough to improve a little bit. You have a guy who's sort of ingrained himself with Charlotte fans and with his teammates. And you have a guy who made the team around him a hell of a lot better. Like, I don't understand why you trade that guy. I mean, we'll see later. Like, I like some of their moves that they did, but at the same time, they'd be better moves with LaMelo. And so, I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't like the move. I don't understand why they're doing it. I loved the draft they had last year with their new front office. I thought they had a really good season last year. They didn't really make many, if any, moves. Actually, that's not true. I like the Kobe White move, even though they traded Colin Sexton away. But I don't know. I don't understand it. I'm lower on Kobe White than most, and so I don't really see a ton of upside with this team anymore. With the new lottery odds, I don't understand why you would do this. I guess maybe they're hoping they'll be competitive, and then they can, or at least just competitive enough to not be bottom 3, but bad enough to maybe have a chance at the pick. Like, I don't I don't understand the thought process here. Again, if it came out that LaMelo's ankles were cooked, sure. If it came out that LaMelo wanted out, okay. If it came out that they thought this was the top value they were ever going to get for LaMelo, then meh. But I mean, as of right now, we've got none of that, so I'm kind of just left here guessing why. So I don't love it. We'll see if guys like Khan, Brandon Miller, and I guess to some extent Kobe White can make a leap. Who did they draft? Was it? No, it wasn't Zuby. That was the Hawks. Oh, it was Christian Anderson. Well, okay, maybe I love the trade then. But I mean, even with Hannes Steinbach, I like that fit a lot more if LaMelo's on the team. I don't know. I like Christian Anderson though, so I like that he's going to get some minutes. But if you let Kobe White go and sign Christian Anderson instead, I think that would be better. Like, I don't know, back our point guard lineup of LaMelo and Christian Anderson seems pretty like, I don't know. I don't think there's anything really anybody can say that will convince me that this is a good move per se. So yeah. Or I guess I forgot to talk about for the Wolves though. For the Wolves, it's a gamble, but I think it's a fine one. You're not giving up a lot. Only one unprotected first and 3 swaps, which those swaps could be valuable. But there's a chance they aren't. Like, I feel much more comfortable giving out swaps than I do, unprotected firsts. And so, it's a lot for a guy who kind of had to be managed down the end of the year. It's maybe a lot for a guy who could be kind of an awkward fit next to Ant. But, I mean, at the same time, you take the risk. If Ant ever goes down, I think he is a really good fit with a lot of the rest of the guys on that team. Like, I think Gobert is probably going to average career highs in points and efficiency. I think Jaden McDaniels could be a good fit with him. And, I think this is the best point guard Minnesota has probably ever had. Sam Cassell was good, but he was old. I mean, Mike Conley was good, but he's old too. Jeff Teague was an all-star, but I think LaMelo was an all-star. Was he this year or last year? Oh, he wasn't even last year. It was only his second year. I could have sworn he made one more all-star. That's funny. But I don't know. I mean, it's a risk. Those are some pretty valuable assets. But if it keeps Ant happy and it lets you have a little bit more time to build and kind of construct a roster around Ant, fine. And if LaMelo can stay healthy, then this could be a really good move. So it's potentially a lot. You're really mortgaging your future. Those are some far out swaps, but I think it's okay. But yeah, I mean, then here's LaMelo's replacement. Kobe White, $74 million, 3 years. That is, let's see, 74. Yeah, 24 million. That seems like a lot. About 24.5 million. I mean, Kobe White had a pretty good play-in game, but I mean, he's an inefficient player, a score-first guy, not a passer, which I think is what the Hornets need. And I mean, last year, he averaged 18.6 points, 3.7 rebounds, 4.7 assists, but on 3 turnovers, on 43 and 34 in Chicago. When he went to Charlotte, he got white hot, 15.6 points, but 46% from the floor and 39% from 3, which I don't think he'll hit. I mean, before that, his career high was 38.5, but that was on 27 minutes per night. Um, and he has never really replicated that production after that. And so I don't know. I mean, Kobe White's a good player. I just don't think he's a good fit for the Hornets per se. Like if he were a better scorer, I'd say okay maybe. If he were a better passer, I'd say okay maybe. But this just it feels like such a downgrade from Lamelo to Kobe White that I just don't know if it's really worth it. Maybe Christian Anderson comes in and it's awesome. Maybe Khan takes another huge leap, but like you had a good thing going. I don't understand why you change it. Next up is Mark Williams, 3 years, 38 million. I'm a little bit down on Mark Williams. I thought he was good initially, but then really kind of fell off a little bit. It's 13 million about, and so it's not the end of the world. Like it could be worse. 3 years is a little bit long for my taste, but it's kind of whatever. Like when healthy, Mark Williams pretty good. When not healthy, and oftentimes he's not healthy. But we'll see. I hope this does not limit guys like Kaman and also Ikadaro from playing over him, or even Ryan Dunn from playing over him in those situations. But we'll see. Value wise, I think it's fine. I'm just concerned that he plays over some younger, more important guys. I gotta poop. I'll be right back. Okay. We're so back. Took a fat dump. Really, kind of a struggle dump. Had to put concerning amount of effort into it. But all right. So we left off on the Mark Williams deal. Okay. Oh, next up is the Isaiah Joe to Detroit deal for 2 future second round picks. Here's the thing. I like Isaiah Joe. I think he's a really good fit with the Pistons. I mean, I've said all year the Pistons need shooting and half court players. I think Isaiah Joe is both of those. The issue I have with this is they then re-signed someone who is not a shooter, someone who is not a half-court player, someone who, in my opinion, is just not an NBA player, in Kevin Huerter, to a $27 million deal. And so, I mean, the Pistons had cap room. The Pistons, I hesitate to say they've made good moves because as I said earlier, I don't like the Isaiah Stewart move and I hate the Kevin Huerter move, but the Pistons had cap space. They initially did the right thing by drafting like a decent backup center. I understand getting rid of Isaiah Stewart if you really think Oganu is that guy. I like adding Isaiah Joe, but then I don't get adding Kevin Huerter. And so, yeah, I like this move, but I like it doesn't make sense to me to do this and then re-sign Kevin Huerter to $9 million. And so, we'll see. Part of this just depends on like lineups. Do they keep Duncan Robinson? Do they waive him? I've seen some rumors about a waive and stretch, or maybe like a kind of low value trade. So I don't know. I mean, this is very much a what do you do next, but also why did you do what you did type of trade. So I don't know. I mean, if he gets played over Kevin Huerter, and Kevin Huerter's like a third string wing, it's an expensive third string wing, but fine. If he gets played behind Kevin Huerter, then why would you give up, 2 seconds for this? So I don't know. This is very much kind of a wait and see trade. Hopefully that all made sense. I don't know. I tend to get a little bit rambly for these kind of like, you kind of just have to see trades. But, in a vacuum, I love the fit with Cade. I love the fit with Jalen Duren. I love the fit with Asar. The team needs shooting. I still think they need some creation, but at the very least, getting some shooting is going to help. I also think they need some shooting from their forwards, and they lost one of their only forwards who can shoot. But overall, I think this is just fine. Jose Alvarado signed to a super duper team friendly deal for New York, 14 million for 3 years. Great. I mean, that's like a little under 5 million ish. Like, it's a great deal, honestly. I mean, Jose Alvarado, never been a guy I'm super high on, but he's a good, as I sort of said with Jordan Goodwin, funny enough, he's a good backup point guard, okay spot starter. I think you can play him in some unique roles where you need, a little bit of defense. even if I do think he is a little bit overrated defensively. But, for a team that just needs competent depth and point guard play behind Jalen Brunson, Jose Alvarado can do that, and at a pretty high level. I really like this deal for them. I think he probably could have gotten more elsewhere too, honestly. But yeah, 4.5, 5-ish million for Jose Alvarado is a great deal. No qualms there at all. Here's one I don't understand a little bit. Oklahoma's Isaiah Hartenstein intends to sign a new 3-year contract to return to the Thunder through 2029. That is total earnings. 3 years, 75. So, I don't even need my calculator to do that. That's 25 million. For Isaiah Hartenstein, I think that's a totally fine deal. My issue with that is why draft Adai Mara after that, and why trade rotation players for, I guess Aaron Wiggins wasn't much of a rotation player, but, why trade good players for seconds? I think everybody, I thought that was a fire. No, it's just maybe a campfire? I don't know. Sorry. I live close to the mountain. It's July. I'm like, oh, it's fire season. I see something flashing up on the mountains where I live by, and I'm like, uh-oh, it's time to sound the alarms. But I think it's just a campfire. Let's see. Can you tell that I have ADHD? Let's see. I'm trying to find their cap table. Okay. So their cap is 287 million. They are 122 million over the cap, 6 million over the first apron, and about 6 million away from the second apron. Again, why draft Adai Mara if you're just going to re-sign iHeart? Does this mean that Chet Holmgren? Oh, is this including? Okay, yes, this is his cap hitting. I wasn't sure. Sorry. I thought I might have been looking at a 25-26 cap sheet. But anyways, why give him this money? You have Chet, you have Jalen Williams, you have Thomas Sorber, you now have Adai Mara, you have Jalen Williams. If you're trying to shed money, I feel like Isaiah Hartenstein is an expendable guy. And even if you aren't trying to shed money, you maybe should. I doubt the Thunder really wanted those second-round picks. And so, I don't know. I don't think they were in the second apron, because I guess... were they? Let's see. Oh, well, this says the Thunder are over the second apron. Okay. So then, yeah, why trade all those guys and then re-sign Isaiah Hartenstein and keep yourself over that second apron? I don't understand it. Maybe just they really hated Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins, but yeah, they probably aren't done, or at the very least, they shouldn't be done. If they're trying to shed salary, then yeah. You also could have just let Lou Dort go. I know he's friends with Shea, but he's dog water. He is the thing I just went to do 10 minutes earlier. Shit. he's not very good. I think he's making about 17 million. And so I don't know. I get there's some moves that you're going to need to make to prioritize and keep your star happy, but I don't get it. We'll see what they do next. As for tradable salary, Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, and Aaron Wiggins were making about $10 million apiece. I mean, outside of that, though, there are a lot of maxes, and then just kind of rookie contract, rookie first round salaries. Like Cason Wallace is making 7, Jalen Williams is making 7, center Jalen Williams. Topic is making 5, Sorber is making 5, McCain is making about 4.4. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see what they do next, but how much over the apron are they? This says they have 6 million until what number? The second apron. $2,221. Well, this would imply that they're 70 million over the second apron. Oh, okay. So maybe they never had a chance to get over the second under the second apron. Are they hard capped at the second apron? Well, no, they're not hard capped. I guess they haven't utilized their. I don't know. I guess if they let iHeart go, what was his prior contract? Well, he was making 30 about, and so if you let him go, you let go of those Wiggins and Joe. That's about 50 million. Then you're 10 million over. If you let go of Dort, that's how you get under. Okay, well there you go. So yeah, I mean, like I said before, you could have gotten under the aprons if you let him and let Dort go. If they're, I mean, I'm never going to be one to complain about teams doing what they should and spending money. It just doesn't make sense to me why you would trade, Wiggins and Joe if you're not going to go all into, getting under that second apron. But I mean, the short answer to that is their owner was probably just like, I'm paying so much money, help. Love this deal for the Celtics. Ron Harper Jr., 3 years, $9 million. Obviously not as good as his brother, although he did outduel him in one game. But he's a good player. Solid defender. Celtics fans love him, or at least the ones I know love him. Averaged 4, 2, and 1, 0.3 steals, 0.3 blocks on 42% and 35% from 3. I think he's a good third string guard. No real qualms there. No, I'll hold off on talking about that. You probably know what I was going to talk about, but this I hate for the Suns. And I guess let me find the real deals of this trade, because initially I hated it for the Hornets, but Bridges trade details. I just want to see who that 2029 pick is from, because I don't think it was from. I don't think it was from the Hornets. If we go to Jake Fisher, he's usually pretty good about reporting those types of things. Then we go to Bridges. Yes, that is relevant to my post. Okay, I'm just going to have to scroll back. It was June 28th that this trade happened. And that is Kawhi deals. No, they didn't say the details of that either. Miles Bridges pick details. Yeah, I know it's a 2029 pick, but whose pick is it? Because if it's the Hornets pick, then I hate this deal. Oh yeah, it was like sort of a swap. Like they had, I think, a right to the highest, and then they traded it for a right to the lowest, I think. In 2029, they own the least favorable of the Jazz, Cavaliers, and Timberwolves. So basically, they don't have their own pick. If the Hornets gave up their pick in this deal, which it looks like they did, I don't like this deal. You just traded LaMelo. There's a pretty decent chance 2 years from now you're not going to be very good. Oh my God, I can't read. No. Wait, can I read? Does Shams not know how to write? Oh, okay. Yes, I can't read. Okay. Okay, so the Charlotte Hornets are trading Miles Bridges 2029 first round pick and a 2027 second round pick to the Phoenix Suns for Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, and a 2033 first round pick. Okay. For the Suns, no idea why you do this. Do you just barely got access to that 2033 pick? Why on earth are you trading it? Booker is over 30. The rest of this roster is just, quite frankly, kind of bad. I think Onsai is a good coach, but at this, the coach's name is Onsai, right? Or am I thinking of the Hawks GM? Suns or Jordan Ott? That's what I'm thinking of. I think Ott is a good coach, but at the same time, only he can do so much. I mean, part of what made the Suns really good last year just was their elite spacing. I mean, say what you will about them as players, but Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal are both really great shooters, and both are really, really good at shooting from pretty deep. Both had pretty great range. Neither were horribly valuable, but at the same time, they were a good fit with the Suns. And so, while in a vacuum, I don't think this is a horrible deal value wise. You're giving up two players who fit really, really well with your team for a guy who is a ball stopper, not a shooter, and overall just kind of a shit, or not even kind of, just a shitty dude. Kind of simple as that. And so, I don't love this trade for the Suns, but at the same time, why is Charlotte giving up that 2029 pick? Like I said, LaMelo's gone. I can read. I admittedly took these off. So yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it at all. Van Vliet, $25 million player option, opted into. Duh. I think the Rockets probably have to trade him. I mean, we'll see what he looks like, but Van Vliet had taken already kind of a dip in his production and efficiency and just kind of overall play. I mean, he's a small guard who's north of 30. And so if you can trade him, great. If I'm the Rockets, I'd probably wait until the season to try and just package him picks and, Reed, Tari, Jabari. I would not trade Asar for just a better star level player. So yeah, I mean, not a lot to say there. Harden declined his $42 million player option. Both sides are working through a new multi-year deal. I think, if I'm being totally honest, a lot of this was just because they're waiting on LeBron to see what he does. As it says there, I'd be shocked if Harden goes anywhere else. I think he's worn out his welcome with a lot of teams in the league. And so, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. If I had to guess, it would probably be 2 years, 60, 65, maybe. I mean, I could see it getting to 70. But yeah, I mean, you can't max him again, ultimately, which is basically what he was on with that 42 mil. But I guess we'll see. I guess he was a little bit under the max, but I think if you get anywhere near that 40 mil, it's just kind of disastrous. But again, if it's a 1 year, maybe it's kind of whatever. Next up is Zach LaVine opting into his player option for $49 million. I mean, yeah, duh. Like I don't have a lot to say. I would do the same if I was Zach LaVine. We'll see if he gets traded or moved somewhere. I don't think he will be. I mean, it's evident, and I kind of hate to say this, but like it's evident the dude has some kind of attitude problems. Like I know saying that makes him sound bad or makes me sound presumptive, but I mean, there were reports that came out that he didn't like playing in Chicago. There were reports, and just it's pretty dang clear on the court that he does not want to play for the Kings. I mean, his production took a pretty substantial dip. I mean, I've been a guy who's defended LaVine for years, but at this point, I'm kind of done defending him. I don't know. I mean, if he gets traded, that's a big expiring. Maybe some team's going to want that, but I don't know. I mean, he averaged 19 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists on 48 and 39, but in years before that, he shot 44 in let's see, 44 from 3 in Chicago, 44 from 3 in Sacramento in his first year there, then 35, 38, and then 39, 41, 38, 37. Like, I don't know. I mean, a lot of the slip was defensively and on like effort plays. I mean, there's that famous story this year of a guy getting kicked out because he said Zach LaVine needs to play defense, which he does. But yeah, I mean, like not a lot to say. It sucks. Zach LaVine has been in some pretty crummy situations, but yeah, I can't wait for the Kings to get rid themselves of that contract because man, that's just tough. Malik Beasley, fucking moron, just got indicted for federal charges for gambling related to sports betting schemes, such as point shaving and prop bets. Yeah, guy's done. Guy's cooked and justifiably so. Guy's a moron, and it sounds like Ed Davis was involved too. So, yeah. But, that post was brought to you by DraftKings. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's probably going to go to jail, or at the very least, he's going to be banned for life from the NBA, which he should be. And it sucks because Malik Beasley was a fantastic shooter. Saw it last year when he was on the Pistons. Just really good player who just made a really, really dumb decision. So, yeah. Draymond Green declined his $27 million player option to become a free agent. This move gives the Warriors flexibility to pursue LeBron and Anthony Davis. I don't think they have a way to do AD now that they've signed Kristaps again. But, maybe there is a way. Like, if there's a will, oftentimes there's a way in the NBA. Especially when it comes to, cap manipulation and whatnot. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this is the epitome of we'll see. Like, Draymond's, I wouldn't bet my arm. I'd bet a finger. I'd bet my middle finger that he'd be back. It's not my pointer, but it's a damn good finger, if I do say so myself. I use it quite a lot as well. And so, I'd be shocked if he wasn't back. Ultimately, it's just we got to see what the Warriors do next. Good on Draymond, though, because it sounds like the Warriors expected him to pick that up. And so, he's probably going to make less, could be less in the immediate, longer, like if he got 3 years, 10 million instead of 1 year, 29 million, like that type of thing. But we'll see. Next up, Josh Minot, 2 years, 9 million. Celtics fans loved him. I think he's kind of bad, but at the same time, it's 4.5 million. Like, it's fine. I mean, not a bad defender. Had some pretty good efficiency on both teams, but he barely cracked Brooklyn's rotation. I don't think he's going to now that they have Randall either. And so, yeah. I do think he could be a good fit next to Michael Brown if they do manage to trade Porter or Randall, just because he's an okay defender and he's pretty long. So, yeah, just not a whole lot to say about that. I like this deal for the Nets. I think it's a kind of a steal, honestly. Day'Ron Sharpe signed a 2-year, $20 million deal to return to the Nets. The per 36-minute legend is back on the Nets, and he's another guy where I like his fit with Mikel Brown. I don't love his fit next to Randall. I probably want a bit of a spacer, but at the same time, I am not considering Randall in my long-term plans. So, kind of whatever. Upped his 3 volume a little bit this year, I'm now realizing. I guess he shot 0.9 last year, but anyways, he's a totally fine, really good backup center. Great rebounder, and 19 minutes he averaged 6 rebounds, or almost 7 rebounds, not that I'm looking at it, but 8.7 points, 6.7 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 1.1 steals, which I love from a big man, 0.4 blocks, a little bit low for my taste, but, was at 0.8 and 0.7 the year before on less minutes, so I imagine that goes back up. I'd imagine he starts probably now that Nick Claxton is gone. I could see them maybe slotting Danny Wolf in there if they want to get real exciting and fun, I guess. But, I think he's a good lob threat for Mikel. I think he's a really good screen setter. I think he's a great rebounder on both offensive and defensive. And like I said, he's a per 36-minute demon. I mean, let's see. 16 points, 7.5 or 13 rebounds, with 5 of them being offensive, 2 steals, 0.8 blocks this year for per 36, 16 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.6 steals, 1.7 blocks, like just per 36-minute god. And yeah, I mean, in terms of realistic minutes, he's good. All I can say is he's good. $10 million for him is totally fine. Like, I like the fit. DeAndre Ayton opting into his $8.1 million player option. shocker. I guess I maybe could have thought he could have gotten a little bit more on the open market or a longer term deal. He might just be like, get me my bag, and then I'll be like Ben Simmons. I'll just be done. And so maybe a team offered him like 3 and 4, but he's like, I want to play 2 more years, 1 more year, get 8 mil, and just be done. But I mean, he wasn't good, but at the same time, he's not horrible. He's better than the guy my Jazz signed. So yeah, whatever. The Toronto Raptors are opting into Trace Jackson Davis's $2.4 million team option. Yeah, it's totally fine. Not a lot to say. Another guy who's just he started hot and he's kind of waned a little bit, Trace Jackson Davis, but I think he's could be a good reclamation project for the Raptors, and he's cheap ultimately. I mean, that's what it comes down to, is especially after this more recent trade that we'll get to. Just cheap players is good. I could probably slim down the time I talk about a lot of these minimum guys, but whatever. We're here. I hate this deal. I hate this deal. I don't think this guy is very good anymore. I don't know if he was ever that good, with exception to like 1-2 years. But Andrew Wiggins signed a 3-year, $64 million deal to stay with the Heat. It's $21 million, which is not a lot, but when you're in a position that the Heat are, I'm pretty sure this hard caps them at the first apron. And also, they prioritized him over Norm Powell, which I don't understand. Miami Heat hard capped. Yeah, they're hard capped at the first apron. And so I don't understand it. Wiggins is fine. I'll say that. Like, in a vacuum, this is not an end of the world type of deal. Even if it is 3 years for a guy who he's kind of spaced his game out a little bit more, but 3 years for a guy who relies a decent amount on athleticism, shooting, and his honestly care for the game of basketball can kind of wane. But I mean, if it didn't hard cap them, I'd like it more. But it hard caps them at the first apron. And so, this kind of kills what they can do this year, unless LeBron wants to come and take, I think, like a taxpayer's MLE. Like they're cooked. But, just in terms of like pure stats, he's fine. He shot really, really well from three the past couple years, which, is something you want for a team that has Bam Adebayo and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Took a big dip in production last year. Went from 19 points to 15. He's still a pretty good rebounder. I guess that's kind of a situational thing now that I look at it. His points went down, but he also took 2 less shots and played, or 3 shots less and played about 2 less minutes. So I don't know. He's 30, shot well from 3 last year. I don't know how well that sticks. I don't hate his fit. I mean, good shooter, good cutter. I think he could lead an offense at periods. Still a okay perimeter defender. Like, I don't mind his fit with the team. I just hate it at that salary, and I hate that it hard caps them. Again, I mean, this Miami Heat team is a we'll see type of team. If Beal ends up going there, maybe. If LeBron ends up going there, okay. But yeah, I mean, we just got to see with this Heat team. And I will say, I think this contract is kind of has some lesser guarantees in later years. I guess I can look at a Sport Track real fast. Or Spot Track, not Sport Track. I'm just realizing now, years into this, that it's not Sport Track. I thought it was Sport Track. Oh, he has a player option next year? Why is it a 3-year extension then? Oh, because no? Did Chom's just lie? Oh, this is not including 2026, 2027, I guess? I think he picked up his player option and then they got extended. I think his player option is about 30. I don't know. This. Okay, so he opted in for 30, and then the next 2 years he's making about 17 mil each, which, ends up being a little bit more than 30, probably hence the 64 mil. Okay, so Shams just worded that poorly. For that number, that's fine. 2 years from now, that gives you more flexibility. So I mind that a little bit less. He hard capped them anyways by opting in. I thought he declined and then got extended. So I feel a little bit better about that. I'm sorry, I should have scrolled up a little bit more. So yeah, I mean, I hate that he got hard capped, but it's fine. This one I don't understand. Thomas Bryant, 1 year deal to return. He sucks. Do you hear me? The guy stinks. Demon Mark Bartelstein is like a agent god because this guy should be out of the league. He was never good. He tore his, I think, ACL, and he got worse. Why is he taking up a roster spot? He played decent minutes too. Like I think he played 60 games, 12 minutes. I mean, I don't get it. Why not just prioritize like Naquan Tomlin over him? I think it's a minimum, but like I would not even have him on my team. Like why is he not on Spot Track? I spelled it right. Yeah, I mean it's a 1 year minimum, but I don't know. The fact that this guy has made $37 million in his career is insane. I'm a little surprised that Beal declined his 5.6 million player option. I guess now that Wagler's there, that fit isn't as good, and I guess now that Harden's gone, that fit's not as good, and I guess now that Kawhi's gone, sorry, that fit's not as good. But everything seems to be reported that he's going to the Heat. Um, we'll have to see. I thought he got a bit overhated on Phoenix. Obviously, that contract was way too much. But yeah, I mean, if he goes to the Heat, I don't think that's a bad fit. But we have to see how he looks after that hip injury, and he's also, I think, like 32, 33 now. Yeah, 33. So we got to see what he looks like. If the Heat get him for cheap, whatever. But I think that's probably sort of his last stop is going to be on the Heat. I gotta poop again. Where are my headphones? I lost them. Oh, I found them. Okay, I am back. I am sorry. I ate McDonald's today and it's been running through me. All right, so we just finished off with Brad Beal. The Kings are such a depressing team. They just salary dumped Devin Carter, who don't get me wrong, he's not good, but he's still a lottery pick from not that long ago. Yeah, I mean Vivek Ranadive needs to just be like pushed down the nearest flight of stairs. I'm kidding, obviously, but at the same time, like this should not be allowed to happen. I mean, the Sacramento Kings won 22 games. they really kind of fell in the lottery a little bit. They got Acuff, who's like an okay prospect, but like they have the 8th highest cap sheet. They're 88 million over the cap. They are second apron. I think they're over the second apron. 221. Okay, so yeah, they're still over the second apron. Oh my god, man. Cause yeah, they took on DeAndre Hunter. Oh god, this is just sad. Like this makes me sad to look at. I mean, once they get rid of like their cap hold for like Trey Lyles, for some reason they still have the cap hold for JaVale McGee, Doug McDermott. It's depressing, man. Like they salary dumped him to, I think, get a little bit closer to getting under the apron. They also have Acuff too, and so they probably don't need another guard. Let's see if there's any clear reason as to why he got traded. All right, fuck you, Sacramento Bee. Okay, yeah, they're literally this was just for relief. I'm reading through. I'm not seeing anything on there being much of a reason to trade him. So yeah, I mean the Kings are just depressing. I would have been like, Vivek, you got us into this situation, even if he's awful. Like he's like Devin Carter, which is kind of sucks if we're being totally honest. No disrespect to him. I'm sure he's great, but I would have just been like, you know what? We're keeping him, and you're gonna have to pay like the extra $20 million that comes with him. You wanted Zach LaVine. You want to keep Sabonis. You wanted DeMar. You gotta pay it, buddy. Like get screwed. I know their new GM would have got fired if he said all that. But yeah, that's so sad. That's just brutal. I'm not even gonna pull up his stats because it doesn't matter. But yeah, here's the most interesting thing we've talked about in a hot minute, probably since the Melo trade. We went on kind of a run of boring players there, but the Memphis Grizzlies are trading two-time NBA All-Star Ja Morant to the Portland Trail Blazers for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. In terms of just pure value, like this is a great swing for the Blazers. In terms of pure fit, I hate it for the Blazers. I mean, this team has zero shooting. I mean, like this was, what was it? Weird back spasm. This team had no shooting to begin with, and now they have even less. I mean, Jeremy Grant is coming off of like an unsustainably hot shooting year, but like he could shoot, and he's part of the reason why Denny Abdia had enough room to really kind of cook. Like their best 3-point shooter is probably Vic Krejci or Dame, who's coming off a Achilles injury at 35 years old. Like, is it Caleb Love, who he's not he sucks, but at least he gets him up. Like, I don't know what they're doing, honestly. I mean, there's been reports saying that they're going to start Ja and Dame, and if they do that, they're about as dumb as the Kings. I don't think they're done, but like this cannot be it. You need to have some semblance of shooting around Ja. I mean, like if you want to say Dame is that spacing, fine. That's a lot to put on a 35-year-old coming off of a Achilles injury. But even if Dame gets back to his old self, I still don't think this team is very good, and I still think it needs spacing. And so, we'll see what they do, but like unless big man down low, I'm blanking on his name. Klingon. Unless Klingon ends up developing his shot more, which like he's not a good shooter, but he hit a few this year. Unless Denny Abdia ends up becoming a better shooter. Unless Toumani Camara gets more respected as a shooter. He's not a bad shooter, but like he's pretty streaky. Then I don't see how this works. If Ja were to resurrect his career, he's gonna need spacing. I like the Klingon fit as just like a big old dude who can set great screens for him, even if Klingon's really not that good of a screen setter either. So I don't know. Like this is a fine swing for the Blazers. Like why not? But at the same time too, like you can't be done. Like if the rumors that they're done are true, then yeah, that's bad. For the Grizzlies, good on them for not having to give up a pick. I don't know. I think Ja is done. I've never been as high on Ja as some. I got like really owned early on into his career, but I mean, we've seen a pretty consistent dip from him. I mean, in his third year, he averaged 27 and 7 with 6 rebounds on 49, 34, 76. Year after that, and this is kind of where we start to see the dip in production, 26 on 46, last year 49, 30% from 3, last year 34, and 8 assists instead of 7, with turnovers staying about the same. Year after that, 25 points, 47%, up from 46, but 27% from 3, 8 assists still, less turnovers about, but worse defensive stats, and about the same on rebounds. This is where we see probably the biggest dip for him. 23 points, 45% from the floor, 30% from 3, up from 27, but still not good. Bumped his free throw percentage up from 81 to 82, but 7 assists, 3.7 turnovers, 23 points again. And those turnovers are kind of rising up because he's lost, in my opinion, a step and turned some of that scoring gravity. And then this year, 19 points, 41%, 23% from 3, effective field goal percentage of 44, almost 90 from the free throw line, but 8 assists and 3.6 turnovers, 0.1 away from a career high in turnovers. And that was on 20 games too. I mean, in the past 3 years, he's played 69 games. Nice. Or 79. Damn it. I wish it was 69. That would have been so funny. Would have been crazy. And even this year, it was 28 minutes a game. Like I'm concerned that he's lost a step. We've seen a pretty consistent drop in production and just a consistent drop in how much he's played. Part of that is just him kind of being crazy off the court, and part of that too is just he has not improved from three, not improved a ton as a passer, not really improved as a pull-up shooter. Like I don't love it. Um, or I guess I don't love. I don't. I mean, I like it well enough for the Blazers. Just kind of rewinding a bit, just scratching the I don't love it off the records. But yeah. I mean, I hate to say it because I hate to write off a player's career, but I think Josh is done. I don't think this is a good fit for him. For the Blazers, I think it's good value. You know, you're trading a guy, quite frankly, a bad contract, and um, and in my opinion, just a bad player in Chris Murray for a guy who has the potential to be an All Star. And so, you know, I guess I get it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. If I had to predict, I would say Ja's just kind of done. But we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. When he's healthy and kind of at his peak, Ja's a really fun player. And so, you know, even if I don't like the fit, even if I don't like that there's, or I guess I should say, even if I don't like their spacing, this could be a fun team. But we'll see. So, yeah, just to recap, because I kind of rambled there, a lot of this is the first time I really sat down and kind of thought and talked this out. But just to recap, I like it for both teams well enough. You know, Grizzlies take on salary, you get off a pretty big one in its own right, and a guy who probably was not a great locker room type of guy. You're able to commit fully to the rebuild. I don't think either are a bad fit with Boozer, especially if Grant's shooting sticks, which I don't really think it will. But you know, it's I don't know. We'll have to see. Like it for both teams, but I need to see it play out before I can give any more succinct answer. But I also think Josh cooked, so I don't know. Hawks declined Kaminga's 24 million team option. Smart. I feel like I didn't do a good enough analysis for that Ja trade because it's a pretty big deal, and I don't know. I'm sorry for not giving a more exact answer. I guess I'm trying to decide if I should clip this up and make it into a bunch of separate videos. If I should do it just as one big one. Is this good enough to do as one video? I think I'll keep it, but yeah, again, just to say it again in a more exact manner, I don't think Ja is ever going to be the Ja of old. I think if he were to ever become the Ja of old, he would probably need some really good spacing. He would probably need another high end center around him. And I don't think the Blazers have either of that. I think it's a worthy swing for them just because, you're in a position where you can get a potential all-star for cheap. Maybe the off the court issues prevented him from reaching that old jaw level. If those are resolved, then maybe you're getting an all-star. But at the same time, that's a pretty big salary and I don't want to say a rough player, but a guy who has kind of a shaky history. That's potentially kind of a rough ad for your team. And so, it's a why not trade, but it's one that I could see going pretty poorly. For the Grizzlies, Grant, I think he has 2 years left on his deal. I guess how much longer does Ja Morant have left on his deal? I think it's 3 years, right? No, it's 2 years. Okay. So, I don't know. I mean, I know Grant has 2. This is tough, man. Yeah, okay. I like it for the Blazers. I thought it was 3 years. It's only two. It's a pretty big contract, but it's 42 mil, 44 next year. He's unrestricted. He doesn't have a player option. If he's good enough, you can re-sign him. If not, you can let him go. Okay. All right. Um, let's see. Landry Shamet, 4 year, $24 million deal. Um, to return to the New York Knicks, sources tell ESPN. And yeah, I mean, that's a solid deal. Backup wing, good shooter. Knicks need depth, good in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to say. I mean, that's a good, really good team friendly deal. As we talked about, I don't like that the Thunder are picking up Lou Dort's team option. Could have gotten him under the second apron if they did that and let Hartenstein go. I don't understand picking up his team option after trying to shed salary. I don't think Lou Dort is very good anymore. I mean, I think he's an overrated defender. I don't really love his fit next to a lot of those starting guys. I mean, he's his 3 point shooting really dropped, so maybe that goes back up, but I don't know. I mean, he had 2 years of being a good shooter and one, two, three, four, five being a bad one, and even still, that gravity was never really there with him. And so, I don't know. I mean, if this is to appease Shea, that's a dumb move. If this is maybe to be used, or excuse me, if this is maybe salary to be used going forward, okay. But as of right now, I don't like it. This is a pretty good deal. I like Champagne a lot, so 3 years, 45 million, I think is a pretty good deal for the Spurs. It's only 15 million, I think, for a pretty good starting 3-4, one of the better wing shooters in the league. I think it's good. When we saw through the playoffs, he took a huge dip in, specifically in the finals, but he took a pretty big dip, um, which is not great, obviously, but I don't know. I mean, I think 15 mil for a guy who shoots 38% from three, averages 6 rebounds, 11 points. I think that's fine. I still like his fit next to Wemby. I love his fit next to Harper. I mean, just having a spacing, rebounding wing for 15 million is fine. I've seen some people say it's a bit much, but I ultimately disagree. Um, I still would like to upgrade that position over him. Is probably my only hesitation with signing him to that much. But actually, no, that's dumb because you can just package him and some other guys. So yeah, I like the signing. Screw the haters. So this one's depressing, even if it is value. 2 years, 22 million for Yusuf Nurkic. I can't do it anymore. I can't. I can't have him on my team, you hear me? I'm so sick of this man. Okay, he's a bad defender. He's an overrated passer. Like, he's a DHO merchant, and we have a bunch of guys on this team who are really good at DHO. He's just not like he's not that good. I went to a Jazz game last year and I got really good seats. And I've never been the type to like yell at players. And I've never been the type to be like overly hateful. Like, I try to be as fair as possible. I'm not the best at it, but I tried to not let like my emotions take over. But at one point in the game, I found myself yelling, "Nurkic, are you going to fucking try?" Obviously, really not that mean. um, like, I know that lead up implies that like I don't know, yelled worse, but like I just don't. I want defense on my team. I want somebody who can function offensively on my team. I want somebody who is a consistent shooter. Like, his shooting last year was so streaky, and it was on such a low volume that like it's that percentage is fake. Like I want somebody who can jump over a phone book, ideally. I want somebody who can run, somebody who has two knees, somebody who i- is like I don't love attributing this word to people, but like somebody who is not just like kind of out of shape or a little bit chubby for a NBA center. Like I don't maybe this is all unfair and maybe I'm still salty that like I defended him for a long time. He was bad and then he got traded for one of my favorite players on the Jazz, but I just don't like it. And now he's probably going to be starting now that Walker Kessler's gone, and I don't like it. I just don't like his fit. I don't think he's a particularly good player. I mean, he averaged about 10, 10, and 5 last year, but defensively, he was really bad. I mean, he was a large reason to why the Jazz had, I think, the worst defense in the league. He's a large reason to why the Jazz had one of the highest turnover rates in the league. And he's a large reason to why the Jazz had a pretty rough fast break offense, too. I mean, I I feel like this is Danny Ainge sniffing his own farts a little bit, because there were better options out there. Like I would have been willing to throw like 10, 15 million at Dayron Sharp. Maybe he wanted to stay. I would have been willing to throw a little bit more money at Mark Williams. I would have been willing to throw a little bit of money at, I mean, I don't know, not Thomas Bryant, but I guess I don't know if there's really any other backup centers out there like outside. I mean, I would have, I guess this was before Kessler got moved, but I don't know. I mean, I would have been willing to throw a little bit of money at Isaiah Hartenstein, depending on how kind of early you knew that Kessler was gone. I don't know. I don't like Nurkic as a player. I don't like him in terms of fit on my team. He made a kind of a mean post towards a reporter who was just kind of trying to do their job. So I didn't love that. I think all that reporter said was just like he's not a great fit on the team, which I kind of agree with. I don't think that reporter was unfair. Um, I could be misremembering. If he was like if NBA reporters are being like dicks, then I'm totally fine with players clapping back. I don't feel like he was, so if I'm wrong, somebody can clock me on that and tell me otherwise, and I'll admit fault. But I don't know. I don't like Nurkic. Simple as that. I mean, he just got salary dumped the year before. And now he's going to potentially be a starting center because he put up some fake gaudy numbers. I guess I know I said this is Ainge sniffing his own farts. I guess I don't know if I really could sort of explained on that, but um, Ainge made that move for Nurkic, Sexton in a second. Everybody hated it because he just got salary dumped and did not play in Charlotte, a team who did not have Kalkbrenner and had a young Musa who was not very good at the time. He did not play there. Got traded. That trade was bad, but it wasn't a disaster. And so now I feel like Ainge is like, you know what? I'm damn good. I'm so damn good. Let me re-sign him. So I don't know. I'm pissed that I'm gonna have to watch him and an abuser as my center rotation next year. Like it just sucks. It sucks. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting. I'm praying on my hands and knees that we find somebody better than him or that fuckhead Jackson Hayes. But I feel like they're just gonna roll with him. Um Kevin Herter, 3 years, 27 million. Talked about that. Hate that. This is one I don't understand at all. It's a team option on the second year, I think. I think it's a team option. This I'm talking about Kristaps Porzingis. Oh, it's a player option next year? What are the Warriors doing? This prevents them from using their taxpayers' MLE, too, which everybody was like, that's what LeBron will go into. And I think this prevents them from trading for AD, too. I don't know. I mean, he follows some insane people on socials, so just go look into that because it's kind of funny. But also, he plays 15 games a year. Why would you give him 20 million again? I mean, he played 15 games for Atlanta and 15 games for Golden State. Year before that, he played 32 games, or this year, he played 32 games. For Boston, he played 42 and then 57. In Washington, he played 65, but the year before that, he played 17. In Dallas, he played 34 and then 51 and then 43, then 57, then 48, 66, and 72. And that's not even including the playoffs. I mean, in that finals run, he got injured. He has some illness, disease that hasn't really been reported. I've seen some people say POTS, but that got denied. And so it feels like a lot of money to give a very flawed center, one who, even when he plays, is like really frustrating in a lot of aspects. And it's also a lot of money to give a guy who played 32 games last year and a player option too. And I don't like it because it potentially prevents you from getting LeBron. So I don't understand it. Let's see. Talked about Kevin Huerter. Harrison Barnes, 1 year, $8 million. Great. He's been surprisingly really good for them. I guess surprisingly might not be fair. I mean, Harrison Barnes is fine, but like, I did not think he was a starter anymore, and he functioned pretty well as a starter for a lot of the year. They were best when he went on the bench, but like, I kind of thought Harrison Barnes was cooked for a little while there, but he's come back and been pretty dang good. So yeah, I mean, hats off to Harrison Barnes. He's made really quite the career for himself. So yeah. Next up, Simone Fontecchio. He's going back. I like Simone. Just a wing who can shoot. And yeah, it's kind of hard to find. Rob Williams, 3 years, 44 million. That's a little expensive for me. I like when healthy, I think Rob is a good player. He's definitely not the player he was before all those injuries. But last year he averaged 6, 7, 1 assist, 0.6 steals, but 1.5 blocks in 17 minutes. Shot threes a little bit more, 0.4 a game, which again, 17 minutes. Sorry. Like, not bad volume, but for his career, he's been really injured, has had some really bad lower leg and just soft tissue injuries. I mean, this is the second most games he's played, and he's 28. I mean, maybe things have changed. Like, maybe he went to Demon Dr. Glasgow, but yeah, I mean, 12-ish million for, actually, no, that's, what the fuck am I thinking? It's not 12 million. 15-ish million about for Robert Williams seems to be a bit much. I mean, we'll see, maybe it's not fully guaranteed. Or not Robert Williams stats. I put Robert Williams stats just instinctively into Sport Track. Okay, yeah, this is all estimates. So yeah, I don't know. When he plays, he's a good player. The issue is he just doesn't play super often. I don't know if I said, but 59 games this year, then 26, 35, 61, 52, 29, 32. Part of that is those first 2 years he was not much of a rotation player. But yeah, I like Rob Williams a lot. I hope this injury bug leaves him, and if he's healthy, this is a good deal. So I hope I'm proven wrong. LeBron is leaving. I called this. I know I said it in my post. I don't know if I said it in a video, but I said because there was that whole like LeBron didn't extend, he took a player option instead. And I said, or no, he wanted a trade. There wasn't something like there was some debacle about him wanting maybe out, him not being willing to extend, or no, he took a 1+1, I think, and then they're like reports were like he's not super happy about that. Then the whole Genie Bus thing came out, and so it was pretty obvious that he wanted out. I called this last free agency. I said he's not going to retire. He's going to play one more year, leave, and then probably do one more year after that. But we'll see. I think really the only candidates for him to go to are the Heat or the Warriors. I would like it if he went to the Sixers. Like if the Sixers are healthy and they get LeBron, that's a damn good team. But that's kind of the issue with them is they can't stay super healthy. But yeah, I mean, if Embiid's healthy too, I love that fit. But we'll see. If he goes to the Warriors, I think that would probably be the coolest outcome. I think if he goes to the Heat, I think that would be probably the best outcome in terms of like just pure wins. If he goes to the Sixers, I think that has the potential to be the best. So yeah. Jacques Landale. I watched an Australian NBA podcaster, Lockdown Fantasy Basketball, Josh Lloyd, which I know fantasy basketball kind of, maybe turns you off a little bit, but watch his show. Guy, I'm not kidding, has one of the best basketball minds in the game. Like, I truly believe that. Like, I think he could be a GM and be one of the best GMs. Like, I watched him a ton growing up. He kind of got me, he amongst others, really kind of showed me the value of advanced statistics. I'm realizing now that I have a yellow cough drop bag behind, or a yellow bottle, and so I don't want that to look like pee. He kind of showed me the value of advanced statistics and how accurate they can be, so check him out. But he says Jock Landale, or he says it with an Australian accent, and then anytime he says his name on his show, he'll just say it in an American accent, and he'll just go Jock Landale. But 1 year, $14 million with the Jackson Hayes signing. This makes it hurt even more that the Jazz traded him. But yeah, totally fine signing. Ooh. This one. This is one I have really not had much of a chance to sit on, because it happened at kind of a weird time when I was at work. It's Kawhi, and I think this just all kind of hinges on his health. If he's healthy, I think this has potential to be a really good lineup. I still think that Raptors probably need to do a little bit more in order to get like a true title contention team around him. Specifically at point guard, like I have been a defender of Quickly. I'm kind of out on him. I think they need a shot making, playmaking guard. Just because I don't know if I fully trust Kawhi's health, and if I really trust Quickly, Barrett, or I guess was Barrett included in that deal? No, he wasn't. I don't know if I trust Quickly, Barrett, Barnes, Murray Boyles to really carry the load with scoring and spacing, but in terms of just value, I love it. I mean, Kawhi, one healthy, is still one of the best players in the NBA. I had him on. I think I had him on my All NBA teams this year because I think he qualified. Yeah, he hit 65 games exactly. But I mean, he averaged 28 points on 50, 39, 38.7, and 89. 6.4 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 2 steals, 1.9, 65 games. Like I Demon Glasgow, Dr. Glasgow coming in clutch. Like if he's healthy, I think this team has the potential to be horrifying defensively. Like I think this team has potential to be one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. But I think they can't be done. Be that in the season, be that in the off season. I think they do need another point guard or a better point guard. And I think they probably could use an upgrade on center. Maybe they just shift old mate Colin Murray Boyles up, which in that case, okay, I feel a little more comfortable about that. But I think they need potentially some more creation. I think they could package RJ Barrett and some picks for that. I think they could maybe package quickly if he has any value and is not just a negative contract for that. But yeah, I think they need an upgrade at point guard and maybe at center. But overall, I love this deal for the Raptors. It's a bit risky just because those picks are kind of far out, if I recall correctly. Chums never fucking posts pick details. That's so cool. Where's Kawhi? Okay, I cannot control F on Twitter for some reason. Let me see if I can find. I would have thought Jake Fisher would have that. He's usually pretty good about that. Here we go. Leonard to Toronto in exchange for Ingram, Dick, 200 unprotected first round picks, 2020 or 2031 and 2033, 1 pick swap, and 2 second round picks. Those picks are far out, like pretty far out. Kawhi at that time is going to be retired. Barnes at that time is going to be, I think, around 30. There's no guarantee he stays because that's kind of right around third contract time. Okay, he's 24 now. And so he should be. I think he just finished the first year of his new contract. But yeah, I mean, it's far out. It's risky. But at the same time, you're getting a guy who was honestly an MVP candidate last year. You're getting a guy who could maybe push you to being one of the top defenses. And you're getting a guy who, if smart, could be the final piece to a real finals contender, honestly. So I like this trade for them. And even for the Clippers, I kind of like this for them too. I don't love Brandon Ingram as a player. I think he's very flawed, and I think we kind of saw that in his time in Toronto. But I think he's a valuable player. I think he could be an interesting fit next to Garland. I don't love his fit next to Wagler, but if you're able to get something for him, great. If not, you still got 2 first-round picks for a guy who's 36 and potentially facing RICO charges. So, yeah, I like it for both sides, and that's not something I've really said a lot this offseason. So, yeah, pretty good deal. Let's see. Next up is I accidentally exited out of the Shams page, so I will fix that. We still got a long way to go. Good Lord. I guess let me look at the Raptors sheets real quick. Just because, I mean, they were in like cap hell before. Um, okay, so they're potentially 52 million over the cap. $213. So I think this means they're over the apron, the first apron. $209. Okay, but barely. And so they have some flexibility to do some moves. So yeah, sorry, I just wanted to check that. I was gonna say, maybe if they're that far over, they couldn't. But yeah, this is how slow the free agency was for a little bit. Brandon Carlson, 1 year, 2.5 million was like a big deal. But for the Blazers, he's a shooter. He's a center. They have a lot of centers, but not a lot of shooters, and so yeah. Kobe Sanders, 4 years, 12 million. I don't see it. Sorry, I don't. I don't see a ton of upside for him, but I think he can be a fine bench third string wing type of guy. Shot 40% from three, only on 3 attempts per game, but played 19 minutes and was not bad for them. High steal rate. Um, Meh rebounder, 23, so not a ton of room to grow, but like I could see him being a bench wing, no real issues. Or not bench wing, no real issues. Bench wing pretty easy, so yeah, I'm fine with that. Um 2 years, 18 million for Keon Ellis. Kind of just got to use your cap room somewhere, I guess. If they're trying to compete, I do like his fit at the 2 next to Michael Brown. Like I think of a starting lineup of Michael Brown, Keon Ellis, um, Michael Porter Jr., Julius Randle, and Day'Ron Sharpe can be pretty good, but not good enough to kind of push you out of contention. So yeah, why not? I think the Nets cap sheet is still pretty good after that trade because they got rid of Claxton. Okay, they have 180 million in cap allocations. So yeah, they're 15 mil over the cap. They got some room to take on some salary. Yeah, I mean, why not? I think that's their confirmed. Yeah. No, that's not impacting their cap yet, although they do have some pretty big cap holds with Ochai Abaji, Zaire Williams, uh, Jalen Wilson, who I think they'd probably bring back, maybe, I guess. Nikola Milutinov, Josh Jefferson, obviously. You keep him, EJ Liddell, and Tyson Etienne. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to see their cap sheet after. I think they should still have some cap room to take on some salary, so it's not really messing up their plans of taking on picks for bad contracts. So, yeah, got to use that cap sheet. Not a bad guy to use it on. So, or got to use that cap sheet. Got to use that cap room. Not a bad guy to use it on. So, yeah. Next up is. Oh, that's a fully guaranteed deal. Luke Kennard, 2 years, 13 mil. Again, I mean, I like it because part of what made the Suns so great last year was their spacing. But at the same time, you traded 2 guys who played a big role in that spacing, and you got back 1 guy who is a good spacer, but that's kind of about it. Like I think Grayson Allen is probably better than Luke Kennard. I know Luke Kennard had a great playoff run and Grayson Allen didn't. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, if Kaman gets not even healthy, if Kaman ends up being decent, then I think Kennard is a decent fit there because he is a better passer than Grayson Allen. And I think he's really good off the catch, and Kaman in college was pretty good at offensive rebounds. And so, there's potential for that to be a better fit than Grayson Allen. But yeah, I just you wouldn't put yourself in this position, or you don't need you wouldn't have put yourself in this position to sign him, and also you could have kept somebody better if you just kept Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal, the best player in the NBA, Royce O'Neal. Zach Collins, 2 years, 17 million. Why a little bit? I'm not a Zach Collins guy. I'm not like was it Cronin at the time who there was some story on draft night of the Blazers GM at the time because even at that time Zach Collins was a bit of a reach, but that even at that time Zach Collins was a bit of a reach, but it was made worse by where's that tab? It was made worse by it's Olshey, Neil Olshey, by Olshey's reasoning for why they reached for him. Quote, he caught a ball on the left block, got double teamed, and threw a behind the back no look pass, Olshey said. He turned to Branch. I said, okay, Billy, we can go home. Olshey said, we're done. Top 10 pick, we knew right then. So, I don't know. I guess maybe not a ton of relevance to him now, but I don't think he's a great player. I think his shooting is a bit overrated. He's not a horrible fit next to Wilson because he can shoot a little bit, but that's a lot of 4-5s on the Bulls, and a lot of not very good ones. And so I don't know. I mean, it's fine, like salary wise, but I mean, you have Claxton, Buzelas, now Collins, Essengay. They traded for Mohamed Gay, Leonard Miller, Isaac Okoro. Did they draft Lachlan Ulbrich? Shut up. He was drafted last year by the Lakers. I forgot they traded for Nick Richards, Jalen Smith, Patrick Williams, and then Gershon Yabusele, I think, is expiring. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of forwards, a lot of 4-5s. I mean, this is a team of just point guards and then just fours. So I don't know. I mean, it's I'm trying to think of a positive spin for this, and I just don't think there really is one. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's a little less than 8 mil, or a little more than 8 mil. Sorry. This is one I'm kind of torn on because Dean White's a guy that I've liked for a while, but at the same time, he's often injured. He's had some kind of rough playoff series, and I think and it hurts me to say this, I think he's a guy that gets kind of overvalued by numbers. Been a pretty consistent rotation player, and so, minutes are not really an issue, but 59, 59, 54, 44, 51, 63, and 12. When he plays, he's not bad, but he's not anything super exceptional. Like for his career, he averages 5, 3.6, 1 assist, 0.6 steals, 0.4 blocks, 43 from the floor, and 36.7 from 3. All on pretty low volume as I look here. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, he's a guy who could be really good on the Sixers, especially after this Jaylen Brown trade that we'll get to. he can theoretically space a little bit, pass a little bit, rebound a little bit, defend a little bit, all of which are things that the Sixers need, especially from their four spot right now. So I understand the signing. I'm concerned about his health. I don't know what he looks like when he gets some higher minutes. We'll have to see. Um, yeah, I mean, again, numbers darling, but just he's a guy who we just kind of have yet to see in a high role. So, 10 mil, not bad at all. Like, if things really go bad, you could probably just waive him or maybe just tie a second to him and you could get off of him. But I don't know. 4 years, 40 million is not super great. Bogdan Bogdanovic, when you deal with the Houston Rockets, I've always kind of been a Bogdan guy. I thought he was really underrated for a while, but I think he's kind of washed, unfortunately. This year he averaged 7, 2, and 2 on 38% from the floor and 34% from three. Last year he averaged 11 on 47 and 42, but it was really rough efficiency. And on Atlanta before that, he averaged 10 on 37 and 30. And so, I think the writing might be kind of on the wall there with him. When healthy and when at his peak, he's a good player. Can give you a little bit of creation, a little bit of defense, sneaky passer. But, at 33, I just don't think that's there. But, if he slots into like the Aaron Holiday role, that's fine. Yeah. If he's able to get back to that sort of level of shooting he was before, then I like that fit a lot more. Just if he's overtasked, then I don't like this fit. But it sounds like he's on. I guess I can look too, but if he's on a minimum, then like whatever, it's fine. I typed in Bogdan on both Basketball Reference and Spot Track, but for some reason Bojan came up first both times. Okay, it's a minimum, so yeah, whatever. This next signing I hate for the Rockets though, just fit wise. Just a little. I'll drink some water there, add a little bit of suspense. Marcus Smart, 2-year, $13 million deal with a player option for his second season. Reunites with Ime. Question 1, why did the Lakers not match this? Did Smart just hate his time in LA that much? Question 2, does Ime just hate creation and shooting? Because it feels like he kind of does. I mean, $6.5 million per year for Marcus Smart is a good deal. Like Marcus Smart, as much as I've kind of given him crap over the years, he's a good player. I think he revived his career a little bit last year. I wish he shot a little bit better from three, but he averaged 9, 3, 1.5 turnovers, 1.4 steals in 28 minutes a game. Like he was a pretty pivotal part of the Lakers, and I hate to say he's going to be a huge loss for them, but like he was a good fit next to Luka as just a perimeter defender. I mean, his defense is not what it was really at all. I mean, he is, 31, but he's still strong as shit. I think he still has a few more good years in him, and so I don't understand the Lakers letting him go, and I don't understand the Rockets really signing him either. I know I want from the Ime hate shooting to the Lakers let him go, so bad transition there. I'm sorry, but I don't understand why the Rockets want him. I mean, the Rockets need like two things from their backup guard position at the moment, and that's shooting and creation and passing. Playmaking and passing. We'll include shooting and playmaking a little bit. And Smart can't really do either. I mean, he's not a bad passer, but he's not a good one. I mean, as we just saw, 3 assists, 1.5 turnovers. Like that's not great. I mean, That's 6 assists, 3 turnovers, 9 assists, 4.5 turnovers. Like it's not great. I don't know. Smart's a good player, but not a player that the Rockets should want. Again, contract fine. I don't know why the Lakers let him go. Maybe he really didn't want to stay on the Lakers, but yeah. And it pains me to say, I don't know why the Lakers let him go because they replaced him with a player I adore. But yeah, he's not. He's real bad defensively, the guy I'm thinking of. I mean, I'll just say it. I don't know why I'm teasing you, Colin Sexton. So, yeah. By the way, it's funny. Teams are really conservative with like tampering accusations now. But this is like the one deal that we've known about for like a week or two at this point. Really, since kind of post draft, there's been some rumors of Smart's gone and he's probably going to Houston. I have mixed feelings about this just because I think he's a good fit, but it's John Collins. And like Tobias Harris really kind of took another step back last year, but he was still kind of good, and he was able to create his own shot a little bit. I feel like the Pistons really need creation. I don't think they had a first this year, did they? Actually, no, I think they did. Who did they draft this year? Abuka Aquari. Okay, so some potential for creation there, even if it is a later first. But I mean, I think they need creation from the wing spots. I do think John Collins is potentially a better shooter than Tobias Harris. Like if we compare the two, Tobias Harris last year shot 37% from 3 in 27 minutes a night. Why am I blanking on his name? John Collins shot 40. So, in terms of pure spacing, I think I think John Collins is probably a little bit better. But in terms of like what the Pistons realistically need from that 4 spot, I feel like Tobias might just be a better fit. Like I think a lineup of him and Cade is going to be really good. Just Cade's an elite lob passer, and John Collins, even if he's not as athletic as his Atlanta days, is still a really good finisher. I think this really bolsters their rebounding. Like I think a lineup of him, or I guess I'll just go 1 through 5 of Cade, Robinson, or Joe. Asar, him, and Duran could be a really good regular season team. But again, I think they still need some creation still. So I don't know. We also need to see what they do with that Duran situation. I'd be shocked if he leaves, but I also said the same about Walker Kessler. The center market really sucks right now, so maybe one team is willing to overpay. But yeah, I mean, 51-3 is maybe a bit much for John Collins. His defensive rebounding percentage went down a lot last year, and he's not good on the perimeter. Like he's not a good passer, and so 17, 18 mil is rough, but I don't know. This Pistons team like irks me so much because it's so clear what they need, but it's not clear how. I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. It's clear what this Pistons team needs, but it's not clear like how much shit can Cade handle ultimately, because Cade is really fantastic at elevating the guys around him, and theoretically in like a fast court offense setting, this is a better fit than Tobias Harris. potentially he's a better spacer, but he can't create at all for himself, and so this just puts more load on Cade. And so, if Cade can handle a bit more creation, then okay, this could be good. If not, could be frustrating. I don't know. It's so hard to be definitive nowadays with these teams, just because the Pistons need to do something, but I don't know if they will. But at the same time, teams are keeping their cards so close to the vest that maybe they will. Like I don't know. In terms of pure basketball fit, I think this is going to be a really good regular season team, but by the time you need creation in the playoffs, it's going to be rough. 2 years, $45 million for Norman Powell with the Bulls. Yeah, I mean, I like the fit with Wilson. Great catch and shoot guy. Really very solid on ball. I won't say really good. Wish he was a bit of a better passer, but I think a lineup of him, Giddey. I mean, who do they play at the 3? I guess probably Essengay, Wilson, and Claxton. Oh, I don't love that as much as I thought. I kind of forgot about Essengay. I like the fit of him and not Essengay, of him and Williams, but I don't love the fit of Claxton and Williams, and I don't love the fit of Essengay and Williams. So I don't know. I like the ad. I have no qualms with the ad ultimately. It's a short deal, good shooter, good fit for the team as a whole. By all accounts, a nice enough guy. For a young team to add Norman Powell, I think that's good. I'm just trying to think of. I mean, do they start Wilson at the 5? I guess it doesn't matter. They're not competing, but yeah, I like the deal. Huck Porty, 1 year, $3.4 million deal. I like Huck Porty. A lot of people don't. I also did really like Bona coming into that draft. Huck Porty has not played a ton. He is kind of a turnover machine. I mean, in 9 minutes, he averaged 0.6 turnovers. In 9 minutes last year, he averaged 0.8. And so, I don't know. But I think he has potential to be pretty good for them. I mean, they really, ever since kind of Morey got there, really on a kind of for Embiid's tenure, they haven't really had a backup center who can kind of go. And so, I don't know. I think this is a good swing at it. I don't know. I like the fit with him and Maxey. I don't love the fit with him and Brown. I guess he's a backup. Well, I don't know. I mean, this is another one where he's probably going to get some real minutes just because Embiid is always hurt. And so, I don't know. But I also don't know if we've really seen him enough to come to anything definitive. So, I don't know. I like this as an upside swing for the Sixers. I have some concerns with him and Brown just because if Brown's on your team, I want a little bit of a better spacer from the 5, especially because I don't think they have a great spacing 4. But yeah, I mean, it's a good upside swing. I like Huck Porty. If Embiid's healthy, I think he'll be a really good backup. If he starts, some concerns, but for a guy making $3 million, I guess that's kind of to be expected. But yeah, no, good swing for the Sixers. I like it. Vooch, 1 year, $4 million for the Magic. I think he can slot into that Mo Wagner role fine. As in, Mo Wagner did not really play. I don't know. I've never been a huge Vooch guy. It's a minimum. He's probably not going to play. I'm kind of hoping the Magic trade, like Wendell Carter or Goga, for some kind of different asset. I mean, it's a lot of size on that team, and specifically quite a few centers on that team. Who did the Magic draft this year? Did they have a pick this year? I don't think they did. Oh, Felix Akpara. Only 6'11", but he was also the 46th pick in the second round, so maybe he'll make a roster. We'll see. But overall, I mean, the Magic have they have Bertadze, Carter, Palos probably kind of hamstrung at the 4. I guess that's about it, but I don't know. He's a third string. I'm looking into this way too much. He could maybe provide a bit of spacing. I think he's probably better than Mo Wagner, but yeah, so whatever. And if this is his last year, it's a nice story. Mike Conley, 1-year deal with the Celtics. I'm sorry, Mike, that you're getting stuck there. I'm so sorry. It's a good ad for the Celtics. Like I like him backing up Pritchard, or I like him even spot starting. I think he's not the Mike Conley of old. Like he's a turnstile defensively, and offensively he's really kind of hobbled, and so he can't create his own shot. But he's a good passer, not bad from 3. He's kind of a Missoula ball guy in that way, and so yeah, for a vet minimum, I like it. Mo Wagner, 2-year, $19 million deal with the Nets. I think Wagner is kind of cooked. I think he was kind of a rough player before he signed with that, or before he signed. God damn it! Before he got injured. Good lord. But yeah, I mean, he's a backup. I guess I forgot that they signed him. It's a lot of centers on one team once again. I mean, Wolf, Sharp, Clowney, Wagner, Randall, if he ever gets shifted up to the 5. I mean, it probably won't happen much, but let's see. I think I said Clowney. Oh, they have Jefferson down too. I suppose that's about it. Did I say Claxton? I might have. I guess let me run it back. They have Sharp, Clowney, Jefferson, Randall, Wagner. Am I missing somebody else? No, I guess that's probably about it. So I mean, that's 4 guys playing one spot. Of Wolf, Wagner, Sharp, Clowney. So, and not great. I probably would have used that and just taken a swing on a younger guy, but I don't know. I mean, again, it's a small enough deal that who cares? I don't love the fit next to Michael Brown, but again, he'll be a backup. So, and maybe if he returns to form a little bit after his injury, could be fine. But I don't know. I mean, I just don't love it because I've never thought Mo was very good. But Javon Carter, 1 year, $3.5 million deal to stay. I'm laughing because Javon was cooked, it seemed, right? Like he was not getting many minutes on Chicago. Got traded there from Milwaukee, 13 minutes and then 9 minutes. And then 11 minutes in 2025, 2026, and just was kind of cut out of their rotation. But then he went to Orlando and he was pretty good. So, I think it's fine. Mitch Rob, 3 years, $47 million. I don't love it, but Mitchell Robinson's another guy that I don't love, mostly just because of the injuries. Let's see. Yeah, he played 60 games, 17, 31, 59, 72, 31, 61, 66. So, I mean, if he plays He's fine. He also was kind of unplayable for a lot of the playoffs and regular season. And so, I have my qualms with this, but given their most recent trade, I feel like they almost don't matter. I don't like that it's a 3 year. I probably would have rather done a shorter investment on him. Maybe that's all they could have gotten. But yeah, I mean, still a really good rebounder. I think defensively he can be really rough. I think offensively, outside of rebounding, he's not great. I think a lot of just his shine is just because he's in that sort of New York prestige zone. So yeah, Brad's no, he's past fraud watch. Brad's a fraud. He's a fraud. I mean, 16 mil for Mitchell Robinson seems extreme, but I don't know. I was crashing out about this in a Discord today, and people made fun of me, just saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter. The Jazz are not going to compete." But I feel like we could have. Like, I love this haul because it's 2 first-round picks and 2 swaps. Even though, given the clowns running our front office, we might just be worse than the Lakers, meaning those swaps could just be bad. But it's Walker Kessler to the Lakers for a 2031 and a 2033 first round pick, with swaps in 2028 and 2030 that I believe are best of. I would like to read a quote from somebody I found on Twitter named Hobo J. And it kind of expresses my feelings well. My problem with the Utah Jazz in this rebuild is, and will likely continue to be, a lack of clear process in their decision making. If you look at most of their deals as standalone one-offs, you'll likely think each one is really good, but when you look at all of them on the whole and the cause and effect, it's an incoherent mess. I don't see any semblance of a cohesive plan here. Why did we just trade a haul of assets to pay JJJ 50 mil average to knowingly operate as an over-the-cap team, and as soon as a tax team just to trade away Walker Kessler just to be less talented and in the exact same financial position? Anyone? And it's not the first time the entirety of the picture makes no sense. Right after the Jazz dealt Mitchell and Gobert away to start the rebuild in 2022, they had the opportunity to trade away Mike Conley, Jared Vanderbilt, and Malik Beasley immediately for assets. Their own 2023 draft pick could have easily been top 5. Instead, they held out for like 8 months to get the Lakers' 2027 first. They won games, hurt their own pick, which ended up 9th. January 2025, they traded 3 firsts for a Suns 2031 first. Both of those firsts are eventually involved in the trades to acquire Jaren Jackson Jr. Let's see. And I'd argue the Lakers one was just a throw-in of little remaining value. The entire point of trading for JJJ would be compete now because that's the financial situation you put yourself in. And now it just steps back again. If you really look at each deal and how it relates to the last, it's consistent devaluation. It amazes me how good this front office is at scouting and drafting. I disagree with that. And how bad they are at literally everything else. There's no process here. And ultimately, I kind of agree. I mean, by all reports, they traded for JJJ with Kessler in mind. And as that post said, I think the JJJ move was fine. Like, those moves make sense. In a vacuum, they're good. I think that JJJ move was fine. And I think this Kessler move was fine in a vacuum. But in relation to each other, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, if we look at the Jazz cap sheet, they are $46 million over in cap. They have $57 million first apron. Okay, well, they're $10 million away from the first apron, and are they over the first apron? Okay, they're $2 million away from the first apron. They do have a $14 million Walker Kessler cap hold, though, that they will probably get rid of. By the time they get rid of all their cap holds, they'll be under the first apron. That Nurkic cap hold should clear too. So, okay, I mean, they'll be under the first apron, but we are a tax team, and we're going to be a tax team that's going to win 30, 40 games with this current construction. I mean, most teams in the NBA are in the tax. Like, it's just kind of the name of the game at this point. But why why put yourself in this position where things are starting to get a little bit more expensive? The clock starts rolling a little bit, and you put yourself in a position where you give fans hope to just take a step back. I mean, assets only matter if you do something with them. Those picks are, I think they're, 2028 or 2031 and 2033? I mean, that's 5 years away and 7 years away. I mean, Lowry's going to be retired by then. Keontae is going to be near 30. JJJ is going to be mid-30s. For all we know, I mean, we could have just like a pick reset. The lottery could be completely different, and those swaps could also just not matter. I mean, like, I'm not confident that the Jazz are going to be better than the Lakers in 2028. Like, it's just the case. Like, if Luka stays, I think that swap doesn't matter because I think it's a best of swap. And so, it's a fine return for Walker. But in the grand scheme of things, it hurts to have that hope crushed. This is the first time I've been excited for a Jazz team in a long time. This is the first time where I've actually thought, you know what, this team has potential in a long time. Even with those Jazz and Rudy teams, I knew they were never going to win a championship, but I knew a rebuild was inevitably going to come. I know we're not going to win a championship with this team, but this is the first time I've thought we could have a chance. Does Walker Kessler necessarily make or break that? No. But he was a big part of a team. I mean, the team was constructed with him ultimately in mind. And, I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find a better rim protector and a better rebounder than Walker Kessler. And quite frankly, when you have Keontae George at the 1 and now potentially Ace Bailey at the 2-3, I think you need that. I mean, outside of JJJ, this is potentially a pretty rough defensive lineup. I mean, we don't know what Peterson is going to look like. We don't really know what, or I guess if at all, if Keontae George is going to improve defensively. So, yeah, I mean, it's a fine return, but it kills my excitement for next season to some extent. I mean, Walker early in the season looked great. Was passing, was shooting, and I will be completely honest, if he was able to keep up two of those, or those two, then I think he could have been borderline all-star. I mean, again, like, he was an elite rim protector, rebounder, and he fit great next to the guys. Like, this team was built with him in mind, and this team was very, very exciting. And it's a team I was excited for. And it hurts to have him replaced with Yusuf Nurkic, a 32-year-old center who, at best, is a backup, and a guy who's a bad basketball player and just a worse person. This team went from what I thought could be a 40-45 win team to now I'm not convinced that the playoffs, that we're a lock for the playoffs. And so, I don't know. As that post said, I think this team kind of lacks in direction. We have 10 first-round picks, and now I feel like we're just going to kind of have to wait. I'm concerned that this team will hold off doing anything this season, and he will get extended next year, and we won't have a chance to do anything. I mean, I think inevitably Lowry will need to be traded, and so maybe that happens this year. But it just sucks. You know, this is a team I was very excited for. This is the most excited I've been for a Jazz team. And yeah, I mean, the spot in the starting five is being replaced with a guy I don't think is a good fit, and or just a guy who's not a good guy. So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. It sucks. I've never thought highly of this Jazz front office. This makes the Peterson pick hurt even more. I mean, if you trade Walker, Boozer would be a really good fit at the 5 or the 4. And so, I don't know. Like, this is the quickest I've ever had my hope crushed with this team. And, I have not had a lot of hope for this team. So, there's my thoughts on it. Maybe we do something, but it's just kind of forces the reminder that nobody really wants to play in Utah. So it sucks. It sucks that this team was not willing to spend $4 million more to keep him. And even if they were, for all we know, Walker just wanted out of there. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe we get some disgruntled star who stays with us for a year or two before leaving. Yeah. But unless things drastically change, we're going to be mid again because, yeah, I mean, we're losing a guy for $4 million more, and that guy's not getting more money because of the California taxes. So, yeah, if it was for the picks that we lost him, I don't understand that. Just because, as that said, we've put ourselves in a position where we kind of need to compete. And if it's because Walker wanted out, then that doesn't really give me hope that we'll find anything with those picks. So, yeah. There's that. Sandro Mamukelashvili, $52 million 4-year deal. It's fine. I mean, it's $13 million a year. Feels like just Jake LaRavia 2.0. I mean, thing 1 and thing 2. LaRavia's a better passer, but like I don't know. I mean, they really took that Luka I want shooting in his center to heart. They just said, we'll give you all shooting in a center. Yeah. Even if that, I mean, Walker's good. It's like it was a good return from him. Like the Lakers gave up too much for him, but it still hurts, man. I mean, I think the only time I felt this shitty is when I've seen our picks fall and when we drafted Cody Williams over Montas because I was a huge Montas guy. So, yeah. Fine signing for the Lakers. I just not a lot of defense on that team. Quentin Grimes, 4 years, $20 million is a bit expensive for me. I still kind of feel like he's coasting off of that hot stretch from 2024, 2025. I mean, he went from 10 points to 21 points to 14 points. His shooting dropped off a cliff. I mean, he went from 37% from 3 to 33. He's a career 36% shooter, so maybe that goes up a little bit. But I watched a lot of Sixers games this year. He's just kind of a bozo, honestly. He makes a lot of bozo mode plays, a lot of dumb turnovers, will pass up shots, take some dumb shots. And so, if he's coming off the bench in a creator role, okay. My concern is he gets started at the 3 and just ends up hugging shots, taking possessions away from Luka and Austin Reeves. So, it's fine. I guess I'm just more so concerned with the fit. Well, I do love this because the Lakers got an MVP candidate, but Colin Sexton, 2 years, $20 million. In all seriousness, Smart's a better fit there. they need defense around those two guys, and I love Sexton, but he's not that. He's another guy who realistically is probably going to take shots from Luka and Reeves, but it's whatever. I mean, he's a guy who can get you some wins if the two are out. Both have had some injuries, so yeah. God, Shams needs to get somebody who can write. Free agent guard D'Anthony Melton has agreed to a 2-year, $11 million deal to return to the Golden State Warriors, sources tell ESPN. There is a player option in the season of the deal as well. Brilliant writing, Shams. It's fine. Low contract deal. When healthy, Melton's pretty good. The issue is he's not healthy. You did lose. I'm blanking on his name. I like him as a player too. I'm looking now because this is gonna bug me. Moody. You lost Moody to injury. I think it's fine to bring Melton back. I think he can fill into that role well if healthy. So yeah, it's fine. Elijah Martin, 2 years, $5 million, 4.8 to be exact. I don't know anything about him, honestly. I mean, I'll look real fast, but I think this is literally just like re-signing a second round pick. Yeah, I mean, he was the 9th pick of the second round, 23 games. Okay, I don't feel bad for not knowing anything about him. Oubre, 2 years, nearly $17 million deal to sign with the Indiana Pacers. Free agent Kelly Oubre Jr. has agreed to a 2-year, nearly $17 million deal, not dollar deal, to sign with the Indiana Pacers, sources tell ESPN. I mean, again, it's a small contract. I think it's fine. Kelly is a frustrating player, but in a bench role, I think he's fine. I think we kind of have to see how the Pacers adjust after Halliburton's injury, but I think if they get back to that run and gun pace, he could be a really good fit. I think he's a comparable player to Mathurin. I mean, Mathurin FC is insane, but I don't think that's that big of a loss in comparison to Mathurin. And I guess you have to see with Zoo too if they're able to keep that pace up. Zoo's not a bad outlet passer though, so but yeah, I'm excited to see. I mean, Obi Toppin's worked well for them, and he has kind of a very similar play style to Kelly. So yeah, I like it. I think it's totally fine. This man is like an all-time bag getter. Tobias Harris, 2 years, $31 million with the San Antonio Spurs. I would have traded to upgrade that position. Like I would have done something more extreme, I guess. But I mean, as a player, Tobias Harris is fine there. I mean, I don't think it has much of an effect on their starting lineup. Like I still think that starting lineup is probably going to be Fox, Vassell, or excuse me, Fox, Castle, Vassell, Champagny, Barnes, Wemby. But maybe he starts over Champagny. I think Champagny might be a bit of a better player. Tobias can create a shot a little bit better, and so it could be a bit more situational. But yeah, I mean, I still think they should upgrade that spot. But for 16 mil, about 15.5, it's not bad. Tobias is just kind of who he is. I mean, he's just consistently solid this year. 13 points, 47% from the floor, 37% from three. Year before that, had a bit of a down year with the shooting, 47 and 34, but year before that, 48, 35, 14, 15 points, 50, 39. Like, he's good. So, I mean, Tobias Harris, I feel like would just be like a solid forward until the sun explodes. Like, I mean, he's 33 and he hasn't taken a big dip in any noticeable stats or categories. So, yeah, I mean, he's old. There's a chance, the fall off could really hit him. But, it's fine for 16 mil. It's a small deal. if it works, I think it could work well. It's tradable salary. Like I don't have any feelings about that, other than I still feel like they should upgrade that spot if possible. Next up is, this is the big one. Jaylen Brown, the Philadelphia 76ers, for Paul George and 2 first-round picks. One of those is a first-round pick that could be converted to a swap if it's more favorable for Boston. I think Fisher, I'm pretty sure this is one that Fisher did report on. I think it was that Clippers pick. He did not report on that. God damn it, Jake. It was like some weird swap. Why are they reporting on like the most favorable of a second round pick, but not the details of? They're reporting on like the second round swap details, but they're not reporting on the first. Okay, here we go. If the Clippers pick is between 1 and 16, and the Sixers get pick 1 through 8, the Celtics would get the most favorable, and the Sixers would get the least of 2 favorable of the following picks. The Clippers first rounder, the Sixers first rounder, the least favorable of the Celtics, and Spurs first rounders. If the Clippers pick is in between 1 and 16, and the Sixers pick is between 9 and 30, the Celtics would get the most favorable, and the Sixers would get the least favorable of the Clippers first, and the least favorable of the seconds and Spurs first rounder. If the Clippers pick is between 17 and 30, and the Sixers pick is between 1 and 8, the Celtics would get the most favorable, and the Sixers would get the least favorable of the following picks. The Sixers first rounder and the least favorable of the Celtics, top 1 protected, and Spurs first rounders. If the Clippers pick is in between 17 and 30, and the Sixers pick is in between 9 and 30, the Celtics would get both of the following picks. The Clippers first rounder, the least favorable of the Celtics and Spurs first rounders. So there you go. That's that 2028 pick. Because Shams just will never report on picks, and that is fine. I've accepted that. Yeah, I mean, big news. Marvin Bagley's re-signing. Or no, he's going to the Nuggets. Oh, gross. I mean, that's the place where backup centers go to die, honestly. So I don't think he would have had a revitalization. But yeah, I mean, I feel like my thoughts kind of go without saying. Like, what the fuck are the Celtics doing? I've seen some people say that they're also trying to just wait for a star to ask out. You know, with Jokic not signing an extension, maybe that could be a contract and enough trade fodder along with their existing picks to go get him. I mean, to me, like this is not an upgrade at all. I mean, this is a bad trade, quite frankly. I think the Celtics will try and spin this as we think this makes us better. We think we can use those picks to go get depth. And I think that will be kind of horseshit. But yeah, I mean, this is very much a what do you do next type of thing, because I feel like they're just going to try and flip Paul George for a star or maybe more assets. Like maybe they think they can recoup him, get more assets, and then move on. Like I don't know. I don't really know what they're thinking. I would have probably done the Murray deal, the Jamal Murray deal over this. I would have done the Blazers deal even without Klingon. I would have done probably most other deals, quite frankly, because neither of those picks are that crazy good. I mean, that 2031 pick could be good, but I mean, for God's sakes, the Jazz got more, more, more for Walker Kessler than they did than the Celtics got for Jaylen Brown. So I don't know. I mean, Paul George is so washed too. Like he doesn't play many games that more anymore. Like he played a lot last year, but then he got suspended, and he was not the Paul George of old. Like it's a great deal for the Sixers. They needed some creation and they needed some passing. Brown's not a great passer, but he's a hell of a creator. I mean, and even still, like he's a good passer from the mid range too. Like he averaged, I looked earlier, I think he averaged like 37 and 5 with some high turnovers. But like, even if like the fit may be awkward, which I don't think it is with Embiid. One, Embiid's always injured, and two, you figure it out. I mean, this is just there's not a whole lot I can say other than a lineup of Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, and then probably Wade and Embiid. It's really good. Like that's a really good lineup. Like if all healthy, that's a semifinals, conference finals team pretty easily, I think. I don't think they'll make the finals, but if VJ takes another leap, he's already got some really good kind of role player skills. If he takes another leap with some of his on-ball creation and passing, if Maxey continues to be, I mean, I actually think this elevates Maxey a little bit because he works best as a number 2. If Embiid is healthy, might bump him down to another number 3. Like I think this is good for Maxey. I think this is good for VJ. I think this is a good landing spot for Brown. And, if Embiid's not 100%, you now have somebody who can take that load. So, yeah, I love this for the Sixers. If the Celtics are able to manage to flip this into something more, that's peak Demon Magic. But I hate this for them at the moment. I think it's a huge downgrade. I don't think you had a chance at a title with his current roster. But, I mean, Brown reportedly did not ask out. And if he didn't, I don't know why you do this trade. So yeah, I mean, A for the Sixers, if not A plus, F minus for the Celtics at the moment. Maybe if they flip it into something else, but yeah, that's shithouse right now. Shithouse return. Memphis, kind of a weird trade. Like I'm not a big Santi guy, but Santi Aldama to the Dallas Mavericks for AJ Johnson, a protected 2030 Warriors first round pick, and 2 future second round picks. That Warriors pick is fake. It's top 20 protected, and if it's not in the top 20, I think it just goes to a second. Like it doesn't have another year to lighten the protections on it. And so yeah, I mean, probably 2 seconds for Santi Aldama. It's not a bad deal. I mean, I like the fit next to Cooper. I think Santi's passing is a hair overrated, but I mean, you have a guy who's a good passer, rebounder, and a competent enough shooter. Like it's fine. I think that's a really good deal for the Mavericks. I mean, I don't think it impacts anything with Kyrie coming back. Like I don't know. I mean, I guess that's probably looking into it a little bit too much. I mean, just value-wise, great fit next to Cooper. If Kyrie's 100%, yeah. I'm kind of concerned about the defense, but like this team's not going anywhere fast. So you get a forward who can pass, dribble, and shoot. It's fine. And then finally, after 3 hours and 16 minutes of boringness, we get to the end. 1-year deal, Marvin Bagley, Nuggets. Not going to play. If he does, there's not going to be much. Fine. He sucks. I don't think Zeke Nnaji is that much worse than him. I think he's better than Daron Holmes, but Daron Holmes has more upside. I think they need an athlete next to Jokic. Marvin Bagley is not that. And yeah, so that's it for me tonight. 3 hours and 17 minutes, long ass stream, especially because I streamed for 30 minutes before I restarted. But yeah, I love you guys.